Thinking at the Edge was developed out of Gendlin's philosophy of the implicit. And it consists of 14 exact steps that help people think from their felt sense of implicit knowing and generate fresh language and fresh concepts. It's like the assumptions that underlie our current society, the concepts that we use in our society, are based on science and things, and they don't allow us, they don't already have, they have built into them structures that drop out the lived human body experience. And so anything that we go to think about, if we're using this kind of prevalent concept, it already has dropped out the living person. So one of the things that Thinking at the Edge allows us to do is to get out from under being caught in that underlying assumption structure and speak freshly from our body lived experience and knowledge. And we need this kind of speaking in every area, in our relations with each other, our relations to nature. We need a different kind of concept that would have in it our human felt capacity, not just our abstract human capacity to think with mathematical units.
Thinking at the Edge is a way of articulating, finding new language to say something that you have long known and not been able to say, not been able to formulate or to communicate to people. And most valuably, something in your field of study, something that the world needs, something that as a result of some years of working in some field, you have a sense for that, and there is really no way to say it, and so you haven't been able to say it. And it turns out when we say that to people, almost everyone has something like that, and almost everyone has something major like that. Of course, you can find many things like that, but there's very often immediately something like, oh yes, of course, that. If I could only say that. Thinking at the Edge is our second practice, coming from the philosophy of the implicit, of experiencing, philosophy which relates language and also logic to what we experience, what we feel, what we are, and what we have a hold of in a bodily way. And by going back and forth between the attempt to say or think and the sense directly in the body of that same thing or situation or concern, by going back and forth, it becomes possible to speak from something like that. There's a complicated philosophy about the relationships between logic and between language, which is very different from logic, and what we roughly call experiencing, which the very word has many formal meanings, but we mean what you directly are living there and can sense. The first practice we developed is focusing, of course, which is a way of using what you directly know and feel there if you can get in touch with it. We have very specific little steps to help people get in touch directly with that. Usually we are looking at what's going on, we are talking, we're paying attention, and we are not directly aware of the whole felt underbelly, the whole complexity that goes into what we see and what we say and what we... So the focusing steps presume that you can get in touch with your body from the inside, that you can feel where breakfast is or lunch or dinner inside you, that you can feel behind your belt and not just your belt externally. Some people have trouble with that, and everyone can find that. We teach that in the preliminaries. And then focusing has a number of steps, and it's used in a great many ways.